All right, we are live, May 2024, Washington WREIA. Thank everyone for joining us. As we do every month, we'll give everybody a few minutes to come on board. As you come on to the stream tonight, if you'd like to say hello, that would be great. As you know, the more people that kind of participate in this monthly meeting, the more interesting it is for everybody. So as you come on, you want to say hello, feel free to do that. Certainly, as we're talking this month about many different ways to make money in real estate investment, feel free to chime in. I'm going to ask a couple questions, and if you can give me some responses, that'll help me. Let me know where we want to go with the meeting tonight, and how to make sure that everyone walks away with something of value. Dominic, thanks for joining us here tonight. Those of you that are new to Washington WREIA, that have just kind of stumbled upon our feed, or I know a few people invited some of their friends to join us tonight. Number one, welcome. And what we do here at Washington WREIA, really our goal is when you finish these sessions, these streams, if you will, that we have every single month, and you'll see some of those on the Facebook page and on WashingtonWREIaNetwork.com. Hey, Dexter, good to see you. What was I saying? Oh yeah, as you join us on Washington WREIA, our goal here, that's right, I get my train of thought here. Our goal here every single month is to give you really practical things that you can take away and go ahead and use in your business the very next day or that very next week. So we're trying to give you practical things that investors like you and myself and other people that are joining us are doing all throughout the Washington, D.C. metro area. So that is kind of our goal. We don't have a tremendous amount of time. We certainly are here for follow-up. If you ever have any other questions or comments, or you need a little bit more explanation, feel certainly free to reach out to myself and other people here on this stream if we can help you out in any ways. But as I said, our goal with Washington WREIA is we come up with subjects, we come up with things that we're experiencing in our own businesses, and we try to relay those things and communicate those things for you. My goal is when you walk away from this, when you put your head on the pillow tonight, or you wake up tomorrow morning, that first cup of coffee, you'll just take one, maybe pause and say, remember last night, this is what I took from it. And that's why really we are here, to just kind of give you a spark, just kind of give you an idea, give you a direction, give you an aha moment, maybe if you're kind of new to real estate, or you're like myself and other people on the stream that have been doing this a long time. Before I begin, something that is bugging me that I have to point out, that I promise I will get fixed before next month, is that every time I come on this stream, in the background, I'm sure you can see it on the tile, there's a watermark. That drives me freaking crazy. So I got to talk to my landlord about getting that panel replaced. Anyways, my mind wanders tonight. Magdalene, thanks for joining us. Russell, good to see you. Always good for your wisdom on these streams. We appreciate that. So tonight we are talking about 7 different ways to make money in real estate. And the title might be a little misleading from the standpoint of, we're not going to break down to you different strategies in real estate investment. I think we've covered that, certainly in our group meetings, certainly in private conversations. One of the greatest things, if you've heard me at all about real estate investment, is the vastness of this business. Literally the ability to go so many different ways within the real estate umbrella and real estate category, if you will. I will just list a few, but that's not really our focus tonight. We're going to kind of go a little bit deeper, take it a little step further. But certainly in the real estate investment world, name them. If you're joining me here tonight, I'm sure you can name a few too. If I forget a few, chime in. Russell already talked about buying and selling notes. You could be a note investor. You could be something as simple as a real estate agent. You could generate income by doing that. You could be a buy, renovate, and sell investor like myself. That's primarily what I've been doing for 30 years in the Washington, D.C. metro area, basically buying, renovating, and selling properties. You could wholesale real estate, meaning you could understand and learn how to put a property or put a piece of land or put a commercial building under contract. And for a period of time, you have the ability to assign that contract to another investor. Very common way for a lot of people to get involved in real estate. There's a whole industry now, really, of businesses. That's all they do is wholesale real estate. That seems to be the new the new thing amongst the real estate investing world. You can be a landlord. In other words, if you get any kind of feeds like I do on my phone or on my computer, if you've ever tapped into the Fire network, basically young people want to retire before they're 40. One of the things they always talk about is owning rental real estate, creating somewhat passive income. Rental real estate's not totally passive. You are certainly doing some work unless you hire a property manager, but you could be a landlord. Okay. Fire Network always talks about owning rental real estate. You can get in commercial real estate. You could be a property manager in real estate. You could be a loan officer in real estate. You could get into new construction. In fact, my partner early on in the business, after we had done maybe a half dozen to a dozen renovations, he decided it wasn't for him. He didn't like the renovation process. He went back to school in Montgomery College, actually in Montgomery, and took kind of a 2-year program in new construction, believe it or not, how to build homes and land development. And he got into that side of the business and had done very, very well for himself. So there's lots of different ways, obviously, to make money in real estate. Russell pointed out another one here: tax deeds. You can invest in tax liens if you want to learn that side of the business. So each one of these. Russell, thank you. I always have a solution. It would be, but I would need a ladder, and I would need take about 10 minutes to do that. So I will do that next month, though. But I appreciate the suggestion. It's a good one. So there's lots of different ways to do real estate. And if hopefully those of you tuning in have been introduced to this wonderful business, you've kind of decided on your direction. Hopefully you're involved in some aspect of this business, and you're off and running and doing some deals and meeting people and building your network, and are doing okay in the business. But tonight, as we talk to different people throughout the course of the month, and we ask people suggestions for REIA topics, we really are focusing more on different ways that we can make money in our current businesses, if you will. I know a lot of you have heard all about side hustles, right? Everybody wants to do a side hustle now, and that's fine. I mean, it's very prudent, if you will, because markets change, strategies change, economies change, to have a few things, if you will, in your quiver, as we said, a couple arrows, a couple different things that you're generating money from. I certainly have been able to do this in my business, and it's helped me tremendously. It's helped me as markets change. It's helped me as opportunities come about. And so we kind of want to talk about that a little bit tonight. Now, as I'm talking through this, as you're listening and joining us here tonight, and as we do this live, but we get a lot of folks that take a look at this over the course of the month. So if you're watching this, in a week or so, or 2 weeks, whatever the case may be, as you're watching this stream, I want you to kind of think about where you are right now, where you are in the real estate business. Some of you may be listening that have done nothing. You've never bought, renovated a house. You never wholesale a house. You don't own a rental house. You might not even own your own home. That's fine. We're going to help you tonight. Others of you are already involved. You're what we call newer to the business. Maybe you've done 1 or 2 deals. Maybe you've made a small private loan. Maybe you have managed a property. Maybe you're a new real estate agent. Whatever the case may be, as I walk through this, think about your own situation. Think about where you are. Think about the skills that you have. All of us have some skill set, some unique ability to make money within the real estate investment umbrella. And that's really what I want you to talk about as we walk through these. And I'm also going to ask you, if you're, if you'd like, it would help out. If you're, listening here tonight, if you want to throw on the screen what you currently do, maybe we can take some of those things and help you decide on how you can kind of work your way into the real estate investment world with what you are currently doing. And so if you have that, feel free to throw that on the screen. But let's just start out with some easy ones, okay? Start out some easy ones. We come across a lot of contractors in our business, and I'm sure you do too. Construction is a big aspect of real estate investment. I don't care what aspect of this that we talked about you're in. If you're a buy, renovate, and sell person like me, obviously you have contractors all around you. If you are a wholesaler, it'd be very smart for you to understand some of the contracting process and get to know contractors. If you're a real estate agent, it goes on and on. But contractors, we come across these folks, and contractors, I'm just reading some of Russell's. He loves to post. I appreciate it. Don't forget your sign-ups from John privately, and you can teach that real estate eventually. Okay. Contractors. So if you're a contractor, I talk to a lot of them, and sometimes they're complaining because they think we're making all the money. But as a contractor, think of the other things that you could do. So if you're listening tonight and you want to get in the real estate investment business, think of everything that you have right now that you can offer in order to get into this business. You could easily learn how to invest in rental properties, buy 2 or 3 over the course of your career. That would make a tremendous difference, paying for college educations, for retirement, for extra cash flow, on and on and on. You could trade some of your skills, and I've seen this, and I've done this a few times, where you could trade your skills, your ability to do carpentry, your ability to do drywall, your ability to do painting or landscaping. Just pick a trade, and you could trade that for real estate knowledge. 2 ways. You could either work with investors, obviously, and be like a sponge and learn how they finding properties. You obviously know the construction aspect, how they analyze them, how much they spend, how much they need to make per property. You could even offer your services and get a piece of the back end. Think about that. As a contractor, you can literally offer your services at cost. Okay. So at the end of the project, you add up all your costs, all your material costs. There's no overhead. There's no profit in that deal. But what you trade for that profit is a piece of the deal when it settles. That would be a great way for many contractors to get involved in the real estate investment business. And you might ask yourself, why would an investor do that? Well, an investor would do it to save money from a standpoint of cash flow. They would have to be putting that money out during the course of the deal. They could also have a good, solid partner where they wouldn't have to maybe worry about the day-to-day aspect of the construction. If that person has the ability to manage teams and manage other people, you could form a tremendous partnership long-term with a good general contractor, a good construction manager, and bingo, both of you are getting what you need out of the deal. So if you're a contractor, again, as I spout these things out and you have some of these skill sets and you want to talk more about that, remember, I'm more than happy to do that with you and meet with you privately and show you how you can use your current skills in order to make some more money. Okay, let's go with buy, renovate, and sell. Let's just go down this list. I have a number of these. Buy, renovate, and sell. So if you're out there and you buy, renovate, and sell, what other things could you do? Now, again, I don't want you to get off track of your main bread and butter. As I've gone through this, if I've gone through 30 years, my main bread and butter for making income, right, is buy, renovate, and sell houses. That's the driver of the company. Now, the net worth, right? The net worth and the long-term plan is not buy, renovate, and selling properties. It's holding a certain amount of properties for cash flow, passive income, net worth, sale into the sunset. And whatever that number for you is, you have to determine. Is it 5 free and clear properties that are worth $500,000 each that generate, $3,000 to $5,000 a month? Pretty good. Is that a small commercial building? Is it a 20-unit building? Is it 1,000 units in Florida? Whatever the case may be, the long-term net worth and cash flow of a buy, renovate, sell investor is holding that real estate. But what can they do in the meantime to get other work? One of the things that's very common that I see is they could contract other work, right? They understand the process of contracting. They're in neighborhoods. Maybe somebody needs some other aspect of a home improvement. Maybe a neighbor needs new windows. Could you contract that and make money? Sure. Maybe someone needs a new deck. Could you contract that and make more money? Sure. You're probably at the end of the day a little tired of that process, so that might not be the best way. I think another great way, fantastic way, is a referral network. Remember, you built all these people up. You've built these teams of people. You have painters and vendors and drywallers and roofers and windows. So you could be a referral source for those people. So if someone comes to me, let's say within my church or something, and says, "Hey, John," and it happens quite a bit as they get to know and know what you do. "Hey, do you have someone that can put on a roof? Or do you have someone that can paint a house?" I recently referred my painter to a house in Potomac. He made $7,800. $7,800 job, a great job, very simple job for him. He never would have had that job without my strong referral. Now, what do I get out of that? Right. You can set that up in a lot of ways. You could tell your painter, "Hey, any job that you receive from a direct referral from me, I want X." Or I want, what I do is I don't generally do that. What I do is I say, "Listen, just remember that. Remember that I got you that $7,300 job. So the next time we have an add-on, we just finished a house in Cheverly. And one of the add-ons in the end was some drywall in the basement that we had to replace. Generally, that would have cost me about $1,200 to put that drywall in. But I went to the painter and said, "Listen, remember that $7,300. Now I can't go to the well all the time, but I could say, listen, that $7,300 referral job I gave you, I really expect this drywall to come in at cost, to come in pretty low, $400 of material and, get it done. You're already at the house." That works very, very well. I've done that with decking, with roofing, just again, landscaping. Man, I built a landscaping coming up with my referral network, but I always remind him, and he always gives me tremendous deals where he'll take down a tree for $300 where it would cost me $2,000. But I've referred him out. So as you build these networks of people, you can refer people out and kind of horse trade, if you will. You could just make a straight commission. You could be basically a pseudo general contractor. "Hey, listen, if you get this job, I want, $200 or whatever the case may be." So you'd be surprised at how many people respect and honor those referrals and that hard work you've done to find good people. You can make more money that way. Real estate agents. Man, a lot of people that invest in real estate have a real estate license. Now, you buy, renovate, and sell guys. If you don't have a real estate license, could that add value to your business? I have found that it adds tremendous value. Tremendous value. How? Remember, you're in the real estate business. Not that I'm going out and I'm constantly looking for retail people to sell their house and me be a listing agent. That's not what I do day to day. But I do stumble across different people. One of my biggest commissions I stumbled across is my accountant. My accountant was looking for a commercial building. And I reached out to different people, commercial agents I know, and we found them a building in Rockville. They bought a historic house near the courthouse in Rockville for $1.2 million. And that generated a 3% real estate commission. I'm a 100% agent. That was a $36,000 commission check. I mean, how many of those do you have to do to make owning a real estate license pretty good? I mean, I try to do it every now and then. Sometimes they fall in my lap, sometimes they don't. I also use my real estate license to obviously list my own homes, okay, and rent out my own properties. So just adding maybe a little bit more to what you're already doing could add that extra money that you are looking for. But a real estate agent, shoot, think of all the things you can do. You certainly, should do what you do best. First-time home buyers, luxury homes, working with investors, whatever your niche is, that's your bread and butter. But could you add to that? Could you get to the point where you could learn to invest, right? Where you stumble across a property and you are the investor. And that's happened a lot in our business. Could you partner with an investor? Meaning you could bring your knowledge and your ability to find good deals for that investor and partner with them, add more value to that deal, maybe list the house on the back end, maybe add other things to that partnership. Could you learn to raise capital as a real estate agent? Absolutely. There's so many different things here in the business that you could add to your business to make more money. Could you teach classes on anything as a real estate agent? Could you teach other agents how to work with investors? Could you teach them how to find good properties? Absolutely. So there's so much money within these little areas of real estate investment that we're focusing on. Talk about a few more. Wholesaler. So you're a wholesaler. A lot of wholesalers out there. We get a lot of folks that tune in. Okay. Again, if you're listening tonight and you have a specific profession, it doesn't have to be in real estate. Throw it out on the screen. Let's brainstorm. Let's talk about how you can make money with real estate investments. So those of you a little shy, you don't even put your initials, throw out what you do, and we'll show you how you can use those skill sets to make money in real estate. A wholesaler, think of that. Russell put a few there for a wholesaler. Number one, they could team up with a renovator. Maybe not every property needs to be wholesale. Maybe there's a couple gems in there that they can make more money on by partnering up with a renovator and doing a deal. Maybe take a little bit of money up front. There's a few wholesalers I work with, and one of the things that I do with them is I say, listen, there's more money here if we just go and do some basic renovations. We don't have to go crazy. But I know you, our wholesaler, used to be being paid at closing. So when we close, let me cut you a check for $7,500. Let's do this deal, okay? And at the end of it, we'll cut you another X. Maybe they're a percentage owner. Maybe they get 50% of the profit on the back end. Maybe they get 20%. But again, they add more value to what they're already doing. Bread and butter is wholesaling real estate. But occasionally there might be just a good, really good property that would make sense on teaming up with somebody, closing it, fixing it, and selling it for a bigger profit down the road. You could... Wholesaler has great negotiation skills, right? They could package that up. They could sell that. They could teach a class on that. They could provide, as Russell said, other leads to investors. So again, maybe they have a delayed lead basket, right? Where they're talking to sellers and they're working their marketing, and they talk to people that say, hey, I'm not ready to sell now, but a year from now I am. So maybe they bundle those up and sell those to another investor. Maybe they have someone on the phone, and I don't, you would think these folks would do this, but I don't think they do it a lot. I'm sure they're coming across people that aren't ready to sell at the level they need to buy it at, but they want to sell. So why couldn't they refer that to a real estate agent and get a piece of that deal? Understand how they could get a referral for that commission, or how they could horse trade some kind of business activities so they both can make some money on that. They're just leaving money on the table. Private lenders. That's a side hustle Russell mentioned, okay? Private lenders. How can we now again, their bread and butter is lending, right? Their bread and butter is they have accumulated some money, or they've aggregated some money with a couple people, and they're lending it out to generally real estate investors, generally maybe long-term property owners or short-term renovators, right? And they're making a nice interest rate, maybe points, maybe not points, depending on what the deal will allow. But what else could they do? Well, again, they have something that everyone needs. They have capital. They have access to capital. Depending on how much they have, why couldn't in some cases structure the deal where there's a cost of money? They're still getting their bread and butter, a cost, but they're also partnering up with somebody and maybe learning how to bring deals, learning how to bring value to a renovator. I mean, that could be a tremendous opportunity for people to use what they do well and to make a little bit more money while they're still going along doing some of those activities that they're good at. Tremendous opportunity. Private lenders. And also too, private lenders, I don't see a lot of them. A lot of them are not open to it, but you could absolutely partner up with a long-term investment, a rental, get a piece of an equity long-term. And long-term could be 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. So you get a return on your capital, but you're also participating in the long-term intrinsic value of that real estate going up in value. So there's a lot of things you could kind of expand your mind a little bit and have the ability to make a little bit more money. Landlord property manager. I've done this. Other people have done this, I'm sure. If you're a landlord or property manager, you're managing that property and you're in that neighborhood in Germantown and you're collecting rents and you're preparing a property to rent and you're doing all the things that you need to do as a good landlord or a property manager, what's to stop you, again, of taking a few more properties? What's to stop you of offering some of those services to a couple different real estate investors or a couple owner just mom and pop investors that don't want to do any of that? Maybe they've gotten older. Maybe they don't want to put up with some of the headaches, but you could do that. And again, you could generate some cash flow on things that you're already doing. Adding a couple more is really not that difficult, but it will add X amount. Even if it's a couple $100 a month, if you had 3 or 4 of those, all of a sudden you have $800 coming more in a month. What could you do with 10 more grand a year. You could take a nice European vacation with 10 grand. You could put a down payment on a car. You could help fund a college education. There's so many different things you could do with little bits of money that you can add to what you're already doing. And that's the beauty, honestly, of what they're talking about, these side hustles. I mean, it's extra money. It allows people to do extra things. Maybe it's to beef up savings. Maybe it's to close a gap between what people need in some cases. But a lot of people are using it for extravagant luxuries, dinners, vacations, nicer cars, things of that nature. And you can do the exact same thing. So private lenders, wholesalers, landlords. Now let's talk about a couple others here. As you have ideas, please let them come out. Let's just say a real estate investor, right? You're in the real estate investing game. You're already doing it on some level. You have enough experience. You've done a couple deals, maybe not even a couple, maybe one. What are the other things you could do? Certainly, we talked about you could get a real estate license to add value to that real estate investment business. Another big one is you could learn to teach. You could absolutely learn to teach some of the things that you've experienced. This is exactly what I've done. In fact, that I teach people what I've done, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the forms, the scripts, the marketing. It's just things that we've done within our business. In fact, the team of 24, you got a real treat. And I know some of you are online here tonight. You got a real treat on Saturday. We had one of our team members is a 25-year plus real estate investor, and he laid out PowerPoint by PowerPoint, slide by slide, exactly what he does from a standpoint of marketing and how he generates his leads and what he does with those leads once he has them, and kind of the workflow that he goes through, and really all down to how much he spends every single month and what he spends it on and how he finds different people to help him within his business. Tremendous presentation. Gary sure did. Yeah, he did a wonderful job. But as we listened to him too, as I knew I was giving this talk tonight, you heard him do other things. He's doing the exact thing we're talking about tonight, is that he's added value. He's been in construction most of his career. So again, he's someone that if he has an opportunity to do a home improvement for someone else and make a profit, he's already got the teams, he's already got the process. He does that. He'll do window installations. He said he's working on a deck right now. He said he's building a new home eventually, in Anne Arundel County while he does his renovations and does his core business. So this is not anything new. He also, he taught that class. So now, again, he didn't get paid to teach that class, but he'll have some auxiliary benefits from doing that. As he meets more people, he builds up his network. All those things will help his business grow. You can now, with the internet, with AI, you could create simple online classes if you want. It could be in what you do with real estate investment, or it could be a segment of what you do. It could be, as I said, a good wholesaler could teach how to generate, leads, manage leads, and, put that in a nice free e-course and use it for something else and build up a little passive income. Or they could teach a simple course on negotiation. I mean, people will listen to people that have experience, that have done things, that are out and actively working in a business. So it doesn't necessarily have to be how to find your first rental property. It could be a small aspect. And in fact, when you look online, you look at some of the most popular courses, they're sometimes the most obscure things. And now with AI, you can run all that through. You can find your subject. You can do a lot of things with some of that artificial intelligence helping you out. So again, just as a broad real estate investor, there's so many things you can do. So if you're listening tonight, again, if you're new, and I saved this one for last, but if you're new, if you have no experience in real estate investment, and we have a few folks in our team of 24 that are relatively new, and I look at them and I think they don't even know how much potential they have, and it's because all of us have developed skills, right? We've developed skills, or we have intrinsic abilities that can exactly correlate to real estate investment. So the last one kind of is your profession. So if you're listening and you're not involved in real estate, you're not a real estate agent, you're not a landlord, you're not a buy, sell, and fix guy, you don't privately lend, all those things, but you have a profession on some level, Or let's say that you're 22 years old and you just graduated. I was at Georgetown graduation Saturday night. You know, great speech on, go out, conquer the world. You're our new leaders. And, a lot of that is true. I mean, they're ready to go. They're eager. They're energetic. Now, their skill set might not be certainly what it will be when they're 45 or they're 50, but they all have skills and they all have abilities. So whatever you have right now, you could directly relate that to real estate investment. I've met people that are very strong administratively, right? Meaning investors need that. We're out in the street. We're out, hustling, trying to find our next deal. You could offer, again, offering some of these services to get your foot in the door, to get around the business, to understand the processes, to understand the language, to see day to day what goes on and get paid for it is a pretty good thing. So administrative skills, maybe you have those. Maybe you have research skills. Research is such a big part of real estate investment. Whether we know it or not, we do a lot of research. We're researching homes. We're constantly looking at values. We're looking at neighborhoods. We're looking at rents. We're looking at estimates of contractors. So research can be invaluable. Writing skills. If you have writing skills, you should be making a lot of money. Real estate investors, real estate needs good writers, believe it or not. You could help people write courses. You could write up, private money packages for people. I mean, there's so many different things that involve writing or, those types of skills that you can trade those skills, get paid for them, and get involved in real estate deals. Social media knowledge, huge. Think about it, folks. A lot of real estate investors are aging, right? They're getting older. Some of the young bucks, if you will, guys, gals in their 20s, they want the quick hit, right? They want the wholesale deal. They want different things. But just offering your social media skills and learning how to position different companies and generating leads off the internet and interacting with clients through social media is invaluable. You could trade those skills to get involved in a small real estate investment business. Meaning you're doing something full time, but you have a couple hours a week to kind of get involved in the real estate investment business. Tremendous way. Folks, it's been a long time for me because I've been doing this for 30 years, but there's always a story behind the story. If you talk to someone that's been doing something a long time and has had some success, there's a story behind that. My story was I knew nothing about real estate investment, but I owned a painting contracting company. So I had some estimating skills that I honed through really high school and college, post-college. I had some ability to run a business, a small business. I had the ability to get in front of people. I had the ability to understand houses a little bit. I still to this day don't know anything about plumbing, electricity. I couldn't hang a piece of drywall if you paid me. None of that. But I was comfortable around the houses. So when I met my mentor, Ernie Kessler, when I met and took a class and paid for a course and eventually worked with him, I had some head start. Okay. But I didn't even know it, but I did. I was comfortable in the living room talking about values and deals and estimating. I was comfortable and was getting to be a pretty good negotiator. I had some of those things that helped me. You have those things too. You just have to ask the question if you're interested in real estate investment. Ernie gave me the spark. Ernie gave me the ability to say, hey, I never even knew any of this existed. It exists and I'm interested in it. And so that's what he gave me. And then eventually I worked with Ernie as a gopher, but I was very motivated, still am, was willing to work, could sell some, learning to sell, still learning to sell. And so I offered some value to him. He paid me a little bit, but I got so much knowledge and so much confidence being around him and understanding the business. Because when I worked for him and I got to fly in the airplane or spend time with him in dinner or spend time in a hotel lobby, he was an open book and he just fed me. And I just learned through that process that I could do this on some level. And so you can do the same thing, but you got to get around the business. Now, those of you that are grizzled, maybe we have a few of you on, and I'm going to read some of these here in a minute. maybe you're a developer. I know we have a few people that own some commercial real estate in DC and other places. What can you do to add value? Well, you're creative people. You've gotten to where you are because you're good at something. Sit back, get in a quiet place, get some good music on, get a glass of wine or whatever relaxes you. For me, it's watching sports and driving, believe it or not. I get my best ideas as I'm driving. But think about what you're doing currently and how you could add value to what you're already doing. I mean, maybe it is doing a YouTube video and teaching someone else to do what you do. Maybe it's taking on another commercial client, and while you're managing your commercial space, you're going around the neighborhood and seeing if you can, help out and manage some other spaces. And maybe all of this, you have no time and you want to stay in your lane and just generate more revenue from what you're doing. And that's fine too. But I found a little bit of diversification within the same umbrella is good. My business is revolved around buying, renovating, selling property. I've added teaching, and I was doing a lot of teaching for a number of years, but teaching and trying to mentor and be around for other people. I've done a lot of referrals to my contractors. I've lent money. By the way, if you're lending money and you want to get in the real estate business, you have the golden ticket. You have the money. You have the capital. I don't care. I'm bringing on, I don't know if she's on here tonight, but I've offered to bring on a few people to do some of the deals I'm doing, and they have, $50,000 or less, right? And that's hard to do a first mortgage and $50,000. So you bring them into a deal. You let them see how the deal works. They're still adding capital out there. They're taking risk, but they see behind the scenes. They see the property from day one. They get all the paperwork of the property. They see some of the decisions you're going to make through that process as you do the property. They're going to see some, hopefully not mistakes, but some challenges, because there are always a few challenges in these renovations. They're going to see maybe the market, the economy. Maybe it slows down when we're getting ready to sell. So, and they're getting paid. They're getting paid for their capital. So it's a win-win for everybody. So there's so many opportunities here. Let's read a few of these. Okay. So mobile homes are great investments. Small investors, you can start with less than 1,000, buy mobile homes. Okay. Again, tonight was not about all the different ways you can go with real estate, because we both know it's vast and there's lots of ways. But he bought a mobile home for an auction 20 years ago, $400. It's tax to save for $6K today. Great investment, right? Great investments. You're okay. This is where this garnered. I'm sorry. Do you recommend investing in trailer homes to add to your portfolio? And W, sure. I mean, the challenge with the mobile homes around here, again, Washington, D.C. Metro, we don't have a lot of them. But you go out to the Eastern Shore, you go out to parts of the South, other places, and if you can, again, you're not going to get me or probably any other person on this stream that active in real estate tell you that nothing is bad. Everything is good if you get it at the right price, and you can, buy something for X and it's worth X more, and you can rent it and create income and value. Absolutely. And sure, if you can get your hands on a small mobile home park and you want to put the work in and find the right people to help you manage that, I'm sure that can be tremendous monies over time. Jim, well, it may be St. Passe. Books were how I got into the business in the first place. A rental colleague of mine just published his third book on stories of a real estate investor, and he has made money. Okay, that's great. So Jim has a friend that, is publishing some books, and he might be selling them on Amazon or ebooks or however the case may be. And, he's making some money from that, because again, people are drawn to people like Jim's friend that are real. At least I am. I want to surround myself with people that are real, that are actively doing the business. I can see right through people and frauds on the internet and different things. I just bought a course the other day for $100. Again, some of you know that and I keep telling you this, and I apologize for that, but I'm excited about it. My younger son is a sophomore through college. He had 2 more years. He's shown some interest in real estate. And so I'm just peppering him this summer with just little things. And I thought this course would be great. It was on a marketing idea. And I said, listen, I'm not even going to watch it, Luke. You watch it. You tell me about it. You tell me what you like and you don't like. And the other night he said, Dad, I got through the first hour and they haven't told me anything yet. I said, well, that's kind of typical. What are they talking about? How great they are and this and that. And I said, they're setting you up for something. And he goes, yeah. He says, so don't listen to the first hour. But again, my point is you're constantly looking for things. You're constantly looking at courses and books and ideas and things that you can add. But yeah, if you have the ability to write a book and share some of your stories and get it published or self-publish it and get it online, and again, Jim, that's where that Jim's point is exactly what I'm talking about. Now you have a guy, and I've been in this position. Now you have a guy that can maybe write, and maybe he found someone to help him do that, or maybe he has the ability to do that. But again, if he teams up with maybe someone that's really good at social media, and can blast that out and has a big following and can get that seen, you can make some money with that. So my point is different skill sets can be added to this whole pie, and everyone can benefit quite a bit. Russell, if you have an expertise, write about it. And I had the number one spot in Google for about a year on how to get down payment real estate grants to buy homes. Great. That's great. And Russell's been around a long time, and he's an innovative person, creative person. So that's great. And again, some of these avenues might not retire you. Maybe they will, but they might not retire you. But adding plus to most of us that are involved in this business, we obviously have a little bit of entrepreneur in us somewhere. So we like to be creative. We like new ideas. Most of us would not have done well going to an office, sitting there all day for 8, 9, 10 hours or whatever it is, and then coming home. We like to be moving. We like to be thinking of different things. We like to try different things. And so that's why some of this appeals to people that are attracted to real estate investment. So, kind of summing this up, I hope this was helpful for you. Again, I'm just trying to give you some ideas. I'm just trying to give you some sparks. If you're not involved in real estate investment, sit down, think about what are the skill sets that you have that real estate investors might see value in, that you could kind of weasel your way, if you will, into the real estate investment, or get knowledge, pick an avenue, and use some of those skill sets to kind of launch yourself into that business. That's kind of what I did. I didn't even know it. But I had some business experience. I was okay with not getting paid every 2 weeks. I was okay around homes. I was around homes. I understood some of the construction process. I couldn't do any of the construction. I was very comfortable with throwing out estimates. So, being in a living room, throwing out offers to houses was nothing new for me, even at a very, very young age. So it was helpful as I got started and got comfortable and understood the process and got the knowledge of how real estate investment works. And you can do the exact same thing. So if you want to ever talk about this, I do, part of my side hustle is I do some mentoring. I don't know if Justin throw that up on the screen or not, but a lot of you have my cell phone. If you want to reach out, if you want to talk about this, you want to talk about anything that I can help you with in 3 one-hour sessions. I do it short and I keep it cheap, just so we don't bog you down with too much, that we get some value there and you can go out and apply things. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to, tie you up for a year and a half at 25 grand. Mentoring. I'm trying to give you some real practical ideas, some real steps on what you can do to get to where you want to go very quickly. So if you not even involved in real estate and you want to figure out the right avenue for you based on your background, based on your skill set, based on what you're interested in, I'd be more than happy to do that. Very easy meetings. We generally do them in person. So if you want a little help with that, that's my shout out to you tonight. But I hope this helped you out a little bit. I hope it gave you a little bit of that spark. If you have any questions, throw them up on the screen here and be happy to answer those for you as we kind of wind down tonight. Hopefully you're all out there. It's an interesting market. We're in the middle of May. We've had kind of dreary weather, but which affects business, believe it or not. But the market has seemed to slow a little bit on the resale. I have properties in the 300, 450, 500 range and 630, 640 range. And been a little bit slow on the resale, getting some showings. And I think it's just a function of interest rates and sticker shock a little bit. Housing is expensive. So it might take us a little bit longer to sell some properties. Again, depends on location, depends on the type of property you have, neighborhoods, things like that. People are still getting multiple offers in the neighborhood I live in. It's crazy. So, but I think it's definitely going to be slowing down a little bit. We have an election year too, how that affects things. If interest rates, now I do believe this, if interest rates came down a little bit, like to 6%, I think the real estate market will fly. I think it will fly, but we'll see if and when that happens. Sorry to bum rush your meeting. Hey, John, I'm still trying to move 8.1 acres Fort Washington land perks. Okay. Lori, that's fine. You're not bum rushing anything. Lori is an agent. And if you know any builders, right? If you know any builders looking to take on this parcel, I think it says 8.1, I believe, acres in Fort Washington. Certainly let us know. You can reach out to us. I'll definitely put you in touch with Lori. I won't even get in between that deal. I promise you. I will refer you right to Lori, and she can tell you a little bit more of the details about that. But there's some opportunities out there. You just got to keep your head down, keep looking, and keep looking forward. The commencement speaker for Georgetown over the weekend. This is for a foreign service school. My nephew graduated from a foreign service graduate school at Georgetown, and she was a very accomplished woman, finance director in Nigeria. She'd been in the World Bank, done a lot of different things. She talked a lot about economics, which I like. My wife kind of looked at me sideways, like, what are we talking about here? But not that Brenda doesn't know economics. She does. She just didn't put it together, graduation speech, but I thought it was kind of interesting. Anyways, and it was a typical one. About, you're the light and you're going to go, change the world. So I'm thinking to myself, my nephew, man, he's got to learn how to, load the dishwasher. He'll be okay. Anyways, side note, she was talking about how she graduated from her graduate program in 1981 and how bleak the world looked back then with all the things going on in the world. So, her point was to try to look forward. There's a lot going on in the world right now. When you sit back and look and say, wow, there's a lot of things going on, but brighter days are ahead. And that was kind of her main point of her speech. A brighter head's a day. Keep your head up. Always look for opportunities. See how you can serve people. You can do great things. You can tell about my first wholesale with you, Lori. I won't bore him with that. But yeah, done a lot of deals with folks in Washington WREIA, and I appreciate that. That's helped me, and hopefully it's helped them do some deals. I'm still doing that today. The best way to learn this business is to partner up with more experienced investor, try to add value, but also be a participant in that deal. And again, I make that call out to all of you that are listening. I'm still active. I'm still out doing deals. If you have something you want a little more experience on, maybe a little bit of capital, maybe a little renovation experience, or just refer out to network, let me know. I'm still very active and still doing deals throughout there. In fact, buying one in Lanham tomorrow. We call it a 5 dumpster deal. A lot of work to get it cleaned out, and then buying one next week in Waldorf, a nice single family house. So still, out there looking for deals and renovating and doing quite a few things. So thanks for tonight. Appreciate you all tuning in. I hope, I guess we're coming up to Memorial Day here next weekend. Summer's officially started. So hopefully you'll be out there doing some deals. And if I can help in any way, let us know. 7 ways to make money in real estate. I think we maybe gave you a few more than 7 ways tonight, but hopefully you take some of this information and you can apply it. Dominic, it has benefited greatly working with John. I look forward to every day that we do. Wow, Dominic, that's pretty nice. Gary, thank you. Gary's a part of our team at 24. As I said, we had a really good meeting on Saturday. The investor, and I'm not going to say his name because he didn't let me. I didn't ask him for permission to do that, but he's a character, and he laid out some great information. And again, I know some of you are not a part of the team at 24. That's kind of our live WREIA meetings that we meet every month. Just a tremendous presentation on what you can do with this business and how he's developed systems and tried and failed and different technology and different call centers and different things that he's doing and how he works all that. I enjoyed it thoroughly. He did a great job, and he was very, very Very, very helpful. Russell, thank you for that laugh. Pop the ceiling tile out, John. I will next time. I'm not gonna do it today because I'm gonna make you come back and you're gonna see in that right corner that wet ceiling tile is going to be no longer in back of my screen. All right, one more here. Good evening, everyone. My husband and I are new to DMV DC area. We are recently moved from Arkansas. We started our business with a fourplex rental and started flipping homes. Wow, that's tremendous. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, you're very, very lucky that you were in an area where they had fourplexes like that. You'll find in the DC metro area, we don't have as many. We have some, but we don't have as many of properties like that. Love to talk to you more. If you ever get a chance, give me a call. Would love to talk more about some of your investments in Arkansas. My son goes to school at the University of Oklahoma, so we drive through Arkansas, and it just seems like a great state. Spent a little time in the Ozarks last time we went out. Just beautiful, beautiful state. So love to see what you're up to. I guess you're flipping houses here now. That's great. I'm sure that fourplex did very well for you. So thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Thanks for comments. That was good. All right. So if I can help any of you guys out, any little mentoring, let me know. Reach out. If you have any houses you want to partner up with, you need capital, you're looking for any of my expertise, let me know. Enjoy this week. Enjoy your holiday. We're around and we will see you next month. Washington WREIA, already in the middle of summer, 2024. Take care, everyone. We'll talk to you soon.